We will now have the opportunity to hear from one of our seniors through her words of inspiration. Bhargavi Sriram is an incredibly intelligent young woman that has truly taken to heart all that Metea Valley has to offer. She has a message for us titled, "In Unity, There is Victory." Please welcome Bhargavi Sriram to the podium.
Esteemed faculty, trusted Board of Education, Mustang families, friends, and the Metea Valley graduating class of 2021. Thank you, and congratulations. If there's one thing that I learned at my time at Metea Valley, it's that we draw strength from one another. In a way, this year's graduating class shows a remarkable resemblance to geese. Now, it's not because of the noises some of us made during passing period in the hallway, but because geese are a prime example of a community that depends on one another to succeed. Geese fly in a V formation because by flying together, they can arrive at their destination more efficiently than if they flew alone. The connections that we've made at Metea Valley and the community that we formed are evidence that there is strength and power in numbers. Together, we've motivated each other to achieve our goals. And just like geese, by working together in harmony, we found ways to fly. At Metea Valley, we were thrown countless opportunities to find a community and to find ourselves. Through our sports teams, extracurricular activities, and rigorous classes, we learned to surround ourselves with people who reflect who we want to be and how we want to feel. Everyone has a talent and a skill that is not always the easiest part of ourselves to discover, but the resources here made realizing our passions possible. For some, finding this niche was discovering that you excel on the football team. Unfortunately, the extent of my athletic ability is discovering that I'm the first one to stop during Pacers. For others, it's joining the math team after getting a rush from solving a calculus problem. Unfortunately for me, that limit does not exist. Like many other 14-year-olds, I took on freshman year headstrong and sought after an environment where I would meet people to be creative. I found my community on the speech team, and ultimately the relationships that I've made and the skills that I've gained will stay with me for the rest of my life. While each and every one of our experiences are different in the classes that we've taken and our interests and the extracurriculars that we've partaken in, we share the gift of building relationships with individuals that we will strengthen throughout this lifetime. In the past 4 years, those around us have pushed us to believe that our opportunities and potential to make a difference are endless. By engaging in service projects, donating time during lunch to tutor another group of students, or participating as a Fresh Connect leader, we've all contributed to leaving our community at Metea here a little better than we found it. In our own way, we've slowly begun to discover our passions and learn to fly. This past year, we learned to fly 6 feet apart. While this year has had its share of disappointments, our spirits continue to remain high, and with the support of each other, we are moments away from the finish line. Like geese, our loyalty to ourselves and our school has been unmatched. When a goose senses danger, we all know how they react. They'll hiss and honk and snap at you all the way to your car while you run to safety. Don't worry, there's a point to this. This year, we've learned to protect one another, both physically by masking up and by learning to be fighters and work through tough situations with the help of students and staff. Although some of us cooked meals during class, cleaned our rooms during class, lied about our cameras not turning on during class, we also developed ways to stay connected, to learn, and to persevere despite the year being turned upside down. And that resilience, the resilience of this entire generation, will go down in history. Our students and our teachers stayed creative and approached the unconventionality of this year as a challenge waiting to be overcome. While this year is not comprehensive of the lessons and the obstacles we will subdue, it has taught us to be compassionate and thoughtful in order to overcome greater challenges. With the help of our creative student government, we were still able to celebrate our success through senior drive-bys, socially distanced socials, and our senior prom. Ultimately, with each other by our sides, we found ways for the good to outweigh the bad. However, when reflecting on the past 4 years at Mattia Valley, it's not the moments spent alone in our homes that come to mind. It's screaming the lyrics to your favorite song at homecoming, or that lab group in science class who finds everything 10 times funnier than it actually is, or sneaking a candy bar from the government students during election week in the lunchroom. It's the moments that we've spent together that have made our years at Mattia Valley memorable. In the midst of surviving 2 raging illnesses, COVID-19 and senioritis, we have learned the most valuable lesson. Where there is unity, there is always victory. Mattia Valley graduating class of 2021, as we begin this new chapter of our lives, be sure to stand for each other, lift each other, and be proud of each other, so that together we can soar. Congratulations, Mustangs.